Today's story is about a stupid concealed carry class I had to take when I first moved back to Texas. This would happen, well, I had lived in Texas before, but I didn't have a concealed carry license. And the second time I moved back to Texas, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna carry. So I looked into what the requirements were to be able to carry in Texas. I believe now Texas has what they call constitutional carry, so you don't need a license to conceal carry. Actually, in Texas, you could open carry without a license, of course. Even though it's not illegal, you'll get harassed. Karens would call the police on you. Oh my God, this guy's got a gun walking around. But they did, in order to conceal carry, you had to take this, at that time, 10-hour class. Again, this was like, I believe, like 2008. And so I looked it up, found a place that gives classes, and it was out in the middle of nowhere. I think it was called Thunder or something or other. And so I scheduled the class. It was on a Saturday, and it was a 10-hour class, and we had to bring our lunch, or I think they gave us a little lunch break. We could go get lunch, but there was like nothing around nothing close by where you could go get lunch. So I just brought a sandwich and like a bottle of Coke or something like that in an ice chest. But so when we got to the place, it was like 6 in the morning. The class went from 6 to 4, something like that. So we all get there, you know, me and the other attendees. I didn't know any of them. We get there and we're just kind of hanging out. You know, we get there like 5:45 or something in the morning. And we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. Finally, at like 6:45, the guy, the manager or owner or whoever, the guy who was in charge of running the class, shows up and lets us into the building. It's just like a little, it was a small building. It wasn't like a big industrial building or anything. It was about the size of a convenience store. So we all go inside, and they had this little classroom area, and we sit down and we wait, and we wait, and we wait for another, say, 30 minutes or so. So we've already, you know, hour and 15 minutes into the start time, nothing's happened. So the guy comes in, and he there's a screen. And of course, this was 2008, so I'm trying to do this from memory. So he comes in, turns on the projector, and he plays the video. And he starts this video and he leaves. And the video is an NRA training video on how to be aware of your surroundings. And it was like an hour-long video, how to in a parking lot of a store, when you're at home doing yard work, you know, just kind of keep an eye of suspicious things, and when you're in your house, what could possibly happen if there's a break-in. And there were some like news stories of home invasions and stuff like that. It was pretty cool, actually. I liked it. And then there was other videos I can't remember, like gun safety videos, and you know, this was the days before YouTube was a thing. So these were pre-recorded training videos that were digitized. So then I think it was like 2 or 3 hours worth of just these videos. And then he comes in and he puts another video up, and it was about de-escalating situations. And it was just I don't know, of course I don't think there was AI, I don't think AI was very prevalent back then, but it was just like some lady, the voice of some lady reading a PowerPoint slide. And you know, of course it was pre-recorded, so there was these slides that would change. It was just words. There wasn't any pictures or anything, and that was like another hour. So we go from 6 to 6:50 to 6 to 6:15, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I don't know. It was a long time. Finally, I think we broke for lunch. And so we're eating, we're, you know, talking with other attendees like, what do you think about this? And the guy said, yeah, this is pretty much par for the course. This is the same, because you have to renew it like every 3 or 5 years, I can't remember. And somebody was there to get recertified or reapply. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of par for the course. There was another gun range that offered these classes. Like, yeah, I've been in another class where they had like an actual instructor, but pretty much they're covering the same thing. It's just, you know, this guy has a recording versus an actual instructor. And I was like, okay. So then we go to lunch, and at the time I had left all my guns. I had just moved there, so all my stuff was still in my house back in Indiana, and so I didn't bring any of my guns with me. So I had to rent one of their guns. I think it was like a Beretta 92 or something like that, and I had to buy like a box of ammo, because you had to bring your gun, you had to bring a box of ammo, and it had to be 380 or larger gun. You couldn't bring a 22. I think I did just bring a 22 with me, or yeah, I had a 22 and something else. So I couldn't use those, so I had to use I had to rent one of their guns. And I called them first. I was like, hey, what happens if I don't have a gun? It's like, well, you can rent one of ours, before I took the class. So I go into their shooting range area, and I can't remember if they had an inside range or if it's just all outside range, but where we had our practical shooting was on the outdoor range. So you know, I go rent the gun, I buy the ammo, go eat my lunch. I basically just sat in my car and ate my lunch, and I could see, you know, where the if this instructor and other attendees were sitting in their cars too. Some of them went to get something to eat. The rest of them, you know, just ate in their car like we did. So then after the lunchtime was over, we were waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally the guy who was in charge of the class comes out. He's like, all right, everybody come in. And he handed us, and he said, okay, go get your guns and follow me to the range. And it had rained recently, so the ground was really soupy. And this guy had these shoes that had like a spring on the heel. It was really a goofy looking shoe. And since it was just the heel part that had the spring, he was getting stuck in the grass. The heel part would push into the soupy ground, and he would get stuck. So he leads us to this outdoor range, and I had a whole bunch of benches, and so, you know, we choose our spots on the range, and we're just waiting there. And he comes out and he hands each one of us, I think, like 1 or 2 targets, full-size silhouette targets. And so we're waiting there, and then say, okay, go post up your targets. And I think I did bring my own staple gun. A couple of the guys brought their own staple guns too. So I staple my target up, and we wait. Wait some more. And the instructor guy comes out and says, okay, if you guys just want to, you know, practice, zero in your guns or whatever, shoot, but make sure you save at least 25 rounds for the test. We're like, okay. So the guy next to me, we were talking, and he had a Bursa Thunder 380. It was a pretty cool gun, and so I shot a few rounds. I let him shoot the rental gun, and he let me shoot his 380. It was pretty cool, real smooth, not much recoil. And so we wait some more, and finally, I think it was like 2 o'clock, the instructor guy comes out, and he goes to each of us. No, he says, all right, here, you know, here's your test. So he says, all right, everybody, you know, load up your pistols and you know, get ready to shoot. And we're like, okay. So everybody's ready, everybody's, you know, pointing their guns down range, and he goes, all right, 2 shots to the body, bang bang, 3 shots to the body, bang. And the targets were on these target stands that were, you know, that were kind of like I don't know, just they're on frames, and so you could move them back and forth, and they had like chicken wire on them. Whoa. So the targets were, I think, 7 yards away, and so then he's like, all right, 3 shots, bang bang bang, and 2 shots, bang. He's just making numbers up. It's like, all right, reload. So we reload, and he goes, all right, headshots, 2 shots, bang bang, 2 more shots, bang bang. So, you know, and then he calls out like 8 or 9 shots or something like that. Goes, okay, everybody reload, or everybody unload. So we unload, and he says, all right, range is cold, go move your targets, you know, back further. So we moved them like 25, I think maybe 20 yards, I can't remember. So no, the first ones were 10 feet back, or 10 or 12, I can't remember. And then you know, then we moved them 7 yards back, which is 21 feet. And then so then we get back behind the line, the firing line, and he goes, all right, everybody reload. And he does it again. All right, 2 shots to the body, bang bang. So this went on for, I don't know, it was like 30 or 35 minutes. And it's like, all right, that's cool, you know, range is cold, you know, or no, he says, okay, we're done. You know, if you got extra ammo, you can shoot the rest of it, we're done. So, you know, we're like, I'm just gonna conserve my ammo. So I kept the ammo that I didn't shoot, so did everybody else. So, all right, everybody, follow me back into the class. So we go back into the class. So it's like 2:30, something like that, and he starts passing out all the forms. There must have been like 15 forms that we filled out, and he's like, all right, listen to me very carefully. You want to fill out these forms exactly the way I tell you to. And he says, okay, form 1, you know, do this, do this, do this. And he was this part of it was really good. He told us exactly what to put on each individual form, each line by line, and that took like an hour, right? So it was like 3:30, and he goes, all right, you know, everybody got your forms, everybody got forms, okay, you know, hand them in to me. We're like, okay. And then it's like, all right, everybody line up over here, and he has line up against the wall, and there was like a backdrop. He goes, all right, I got to take your picture now. And you know, of course, he was trying to be funny. He goes, yeah, if you want a better picture, bring a better face. That's what I remember about him. So then, you know, took everybody's picture with a Polaroid, and he staples all the, you know, he staples the pictures to all the forms. I can't remember. I think he gave us the parts that we had to turn in or mail in or something like that, and he kept, you know, a copy or some of the forms he was supposed to keep for his records. But anyway, so that was it. That was the 10 hours of stupidity that I had to spend in order to get my concealed carry license. On top of that, when I think when I did finally mail in my application to the state, they lost it. It took me 6 months to finally get my concealed carry license, because there was some issue where they lost a whole bunch of the records or whatever. Luckily, I kept copies of everything, so I sent them another copy, and they said, okay, so now you got to come in. Oh, we had to do fingerprints too. So finally, after 6 months, I had to go downtown Houston and take another picture or something like that, and I finally got my concealed carry license. So if you're in Texas, hopefully things are better now for concealed carry. Later.